Okay, I'm live and I'm alone for the moment. I want to ask Chris if he can hear and see me. Put your thumb up if you can. Good. I want to ask the same of my secret guest. Can you see and hear me? Yes. Okay. People in the chat room, this is going to be a celebrity guessing game. We're going to put Chris through it. I promised not to make him wear a blindfold if he's uncomfortable with that, but he should definitely either put his hands over his eyes or just promise to keep his eyes closed while we have him guess. And I also ask him not to look at the chat because I don't want to give anything away, although my guess could be one of the people in the chat throwing in some false clues. So that wouldn't really help anyway. But just to be on the safe side, don't read the chat, Chris. Okay? Good. Thumbs up. All right. I'm going to bring Chris in. Also, my secret guest, I asked to mute their sound. I'm not sure. Well, let me talk to Chris first. Okay. Let me bring him in. Okay, there you are.
Hey everyone, I can't see. So Robin, see if I just turn off my monitor that's got you and me on it,
Oh, okay.
is like my other monitor, which currently only has my Facebook screen on it, so I can see nothing. I can't see the YouTube chat, the YouTube feed, or anything. So if I do that, is that okay?
As long as you can't see the comments in the chat and you can't see
And I
the
can't,
rest of the
what's
screen. But you
like,
can see me or you can't see me.
I won't be able to see you. No, I'll be able to hear you.
Oh,
See you.
oh, okay, fun. That makes things a lot easier.
Right.
Then maybe I can bring in the guest right away and not have to have them wait.
You
But
can just make sure they stay muted because obviously I'll be able to hear them.
yeah,
Right, so I'm going to turn off my screen, all right? So you do need,
okay.
if you need anything from me, you'll need to tell me because I can't see what's going on. Or all I can, my only link is you, Robin, your voice. So you
Will
tell me, okay?
will we see you? Oh yes, I guess
Can
you
you
did
still
it.
see me?
Yes, I can still see you.
Yeah. So my screen's blank right now. All I can, I'm looking at Facebook. So I'm
Okay. First of all, Chris, how old are you?
32.
Okay, secret guest, are you older than Chris? Put your thumb up if you are. Our secret guest is older than you. That's clue number one.
Right.
I happen to know, or I believe I know, that the secret guest has had a channel longer than you have. That's clue
Okay.
number two.
Right. Well,
Ooh.
that takes my guess totally out of the.
Um, it gets tricky because I want to give you clues, but I don't want to give too much away. Um, you know what? I'm going to bring them on screen. And first of all, I'm going to look at the chat and see if anybody has any wild guesses who they think the secret guest might be. And then I'm going to bring them on visual and ask people in the chat to help me if they've got ideas for clues or guesses that I can give Chris. So right off the bat, anybody in chat have any wild guesses as to who the secret guest might be? Jilly knows, but Jilly don't say. Jilly found out accidentally beforehand.
Right.
Okay, there's a few guesses. A few guesses, I mean. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. I'm going to bring the picture on the screen for the chat people, but not for Chris. And this guest, please still keep your mic off. Okay, our guest has arrived, our secret guest. Now, does anybody in chat have any ideas for clues that I can give Chris about this guest? Actually, I don't know if the guest is able to actually put one in the chat too if they have an idea for a clue or not, but I'm just going to put it out there to people.
Should I ask some questions? Like,
Well, that's enough. That was I was going to go to that next. You go ahead and ask if you have an idea or you have.
okay. So I guess my first question is going to be if this person, how to put it, so is there a gender identification that we can associate with this person? Essentially, is what I'm asking. Like,
There is, but I'm not sure we should give that away just yet. So think of another question. We'll just put that on the back burner for the moment.
that's interesting. Okay. I don't know. Right, get people in the chat come up with questions. People come up with clues that you can give me.
Anybody? Simon? Oh, I shouldn't have said Simon. Well, now you know it's not Simon. I have to watch what I say. But okay, I gave away it's not Simon, but Simon may be able to come up with a clue that I can ask you or give you about this person. Because Simon knows everybody and knows all the channels. No, see, people are giving me ideas, but they're too obvious. They're too much of a hint.
For
All right.
sake. How long has this got to go on for, Robin? Oh.
we want to torch you just a little bit, Chris.
Right.
All right. I'm going to give you some easier ones.
Right.
This person loves dark and creepy tarot decks.
Okay. Dark and creepy, right?
This person also loves animals.
Right.
This is a big clue. This person has an intimate connection with your office space.
I know who it is. I thought I knew who it was as soon as you said about animals, but then when you said an intimate connection with my office, I was like, what's that person got to do with my office? But now I've got it. I think I know who it is.
Who is it?
I think it is the very lovely Sandra.
Well, actually, it's Sandy, your roommate. No, I'm just kidding. You can turn your monitor back on.
Oh,
Sandra,
thank
you
goodness
can
for that.
turn your mic on.
Hello.
Oh,
Hi, Sandra.
it wasn't much of a guess. I was trying to think of clues that wouldn't give it away, and I thought, well, I know, if I do these references to dark and creepy and loves cute animals and stuff, well, there's two big ones right there. And Simon mentioned the crystal egg, but I already had that in mind. I thought, oh, that's a dead giveaway. How can I word that this person has, been in your office space, or this has a presence in your office space? I thought, oh, and for everybody that doesn't know, hold up Sandra so they know what we're talking about here.
Yeah, before they think I've literally been in Chris's office space.
She's been sitting on his desk. Well, I don't know if that doesn't explain it, Chris, for people that don't know what that means, just holding up an egg and saying.
So
Tell
this
the
was
story.
when I was being interviewed by Lovely Hen. I was on Hen's channel and she asked me, what crystals do you have? And I was like, I don't really use crystals much, but I'll show you the crystals I've got. And I was just going through them and I was like, I know nothing about crystals, absolutely nothing. So I was like, this is nice, don't know what this is, don't know what this is. And then I held up this and I says, I've no idea what this is. and Jackie said Sandra, and obviously meaning Sandra will know, like ask Sandra, because Sandra knows her crystals. But I was like, Sandra? From then on, it's been Sandra.
Well, I invited Sandra on with proviso or caveat. I don't know if there's a difference between a proviso and a caveat. That if there's anything she feels uncomfortable with, she's free to leave at any time. I know this is going to be late past her bedtime probably, so if she needs to leave early, that's fine. And also, she said she wasn't comfortable with doing readings, which we might do later, like we usually do. And so, if that, I said, if you have anything you want to throw in, feel free. But if don't feel like you have to do a reading if you don't want to. So it's totally up in the air. So just keep us informed how you're feeling about it, Sandra, and
Okay.
we'll roll with it.
Yeah.
How are you anyway, Sandra? Sorry you had to be quiet there because of me.
That's all right. It was funny, but yeah, he's torturing you a bit.
I think everybody really wanted to see you wearing a mask or a blindfold, though, Chris. I think they really wanted you.
The wonders of technology. I just turned the monitor off and I was completely blinded. I couldn't see a thing. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I was playing. Sandy got a PlayStation 5 through like at the start of the week there, so I was playing that just before I came upstairs to go live. So yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I think Chris, when I proposed this to Chris, I think he had slight delusions of grandeur, because I think he thought I was going to bring Rachel Pollack into the cast.
No, I was just making sure. I was like, if he's going to be doing some wee game with me, I want to make sure that I'm not going to hit a pure beamer as soon as I see who it is and just like kind of go all quiet. I was like, I don't want to be like pure intimidated or anything.
I should be so lucky. I should be so lucky to get Rachel Pollack to come into one of my lives. Wouldn't that be fabulous?
I just had to check.
I'm afraid you pointed there, Chris. It was only me.
No, Sandra. The reason I asked that is because Robin says, I know that this is someone that you would love to go live with and you would love to kind of interact with. So I was like, I just wanted to make sure. Do you know what I mean? So no, it was absolutely a compliment to you.
Oh,
it's really funny.
I think I have a cold, and this is for Simon. I don't have any facial tissue handy, but Simon, this solves the riddle of over or under. When it's on its side, it's neither. I just tear off a couple of sheets so I can blow my nose. Also, it is snowing like mad here. I'm looking out the window.
Oh, wow.
And I have a back window, and I can't really see the ground. I can only see what's on the back building's window ledges. And I'm looking, I don't know if you guys know. Do you know who Anderson Cooper is over there, you guys?
I've heard the name, yeah.
No. Oh, he's a newscaster on television here. And he actually lives in a remodeled firehouse around the corner from me. So I can see his back window from my back window. So I'm looking at Anderson Cooper's window ledges to see how much snow. There's about a foot of snow built up on the ledges to give me an idea of how deep the snow is so far. I also have constant fantasies of Anderson having wild orgies in his firehouse and with a bunch of cronies over there sliding naked down the fire pole, and wonder if that ever actually happens. Because even though he's remodeled the firehouse, I'm sure he's left the fire pole intact.
You're a filthy git, Robin. I'm glad I didn't come in a bloody blindfold.
Well, now you've all got that picture in your head. Oh, Justin goes, okay, I have to go. What's that? What? Oh, Justin says, yeah, it's his playhouse. He's a Vanderbilt. Oh. So let's see. What else is on my agenda? Not very much. Oh, I got these fun. I don't know if I showed these last time or not. I got these fun little boxes, these little plastic boxes. Make playing cards. You know, they have those tins that you can get,
Oh, yeah.
but they also have plastic lift-off boxes, and these are plastic, like vinyl hinge boxes, which are fantastic. And they're about, I don't know, between $1 and $2 a piece. And they're good for anything like bridge size cards or smaller. I didn't realize that the poker card size won't fit in them. I got them for a couple of Lenormand decks I have, but I also got some extras for some odd size decks. Like Mendy sent me this dinky little mini size Lenormand, and they rattle a bit, but it fits in there.
The size is cute.
And then also I wondered what I was going to do for my mini air deck, because they're half the width of playing cards, and I thought there's no box that's that size, and I don't want to keep putting them in and out of the paper tuck box. So they actually fit in here okay, and they do rattle a bit, but you know, it works. But I like them because you can see the deck through the box. It's sort of frosted, but you can see them. So that's the thing.
Cool.
I was
Have you gotten any
gonna.
new decks recently, Sandra?
Any decks
I know.
recently? I didn't bring lots of decks with me because I'm actually doing this from my mum's. So I just brought a couple with me just in case. One everybody's seen before because it's my current favourite, which is the the Marseille weight,
Right.
which I love this. But I got this for
Have you
Christmas.
got that, Robin?
No, I didn't get it. But I know she did a walkthrough of one earlier today that you just got that I wanted to talk to you both about.
I got in the mail too, which I managed to get off of eBay, was an out of print deck. It's called the Merry Day Tarot. I don't know if anyone has heard of it before. The Merry
No, I've
Day
not.
Tarot. And it's a bit strange because of the way they kind of number it, and like the Fool is like Fool and Wizard, but I like the artwork.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, I should put you full screen here. Let's see, I forget how to do that
I'll just
now.
show you a few, but I'll do like a proper walkthrough if anybody wants a proper walkthrough. But these are still in order because they came in order, but it wouldn't be everybody's thing because, you know, obviously there's huge borders and some of them are numbered differently or have got two numbers or different names. Let's have a look at some of the minors. Look at the moon though.
Oh, that's stunning.
Isn't it? Some of these images, this is the sun. Not good if you put like faces in suns, but
I was saying today, I was filming a walkthrough today, and I was just saying, like, you can really kind of tell an artist by how they depict things like water.
yes.
Like how someone draws water can really make or break an art style for me. But that is absolutely stunning, so it is.
The wands.
Colour.
But I've always loved this, and I was just fortunate enough to find it on eBay at a reasonable price. So I thought, yes.
Do you have, is the name on the box? Can you show the box?
I can show you the box, yeah. So that's the front, which is just like the Fool card, but on the back it does say
Oh, Merry Day.
Oh, Merry Day.
Is that, who's the artist? Is it someone named Merry Day?
It's conceived and illustrated by Louisa Paul. So.
And this is vintage, or it's something new?
It's an older deck that's out of print. I'm not sure the exact, because it just comes. It doesn't come like with a little white book. It just comes with like a fold out.
Right.
I don't think it's got the year on it or anything. But it's not like 1970s or anything. I would imagine it's probably 90s or early 2000s, something like that. But yeah, there's no actual date on it, unfortunately. I don't think so. No. But I know it's out of print. It's actually published in Salem. Can you imagine?
That's lovely.
Salem witches, but yeah, I've always liked it when I saw someone show it. Oh, probably years ago now on YouTube. And when they said it was out of print, I was like, no. But you see, sometimes if you wait long enough and check eBay and things long enough, you can get lucky sometimes.
Yeah.
So did you get anything new, Chris?
Well, the deck I was referring
Robin?
to was the Murder of Crows that you did the walkthrough of, because I
Oh,
know you
really?
both. Now, do you both have the same edition of that, or do you have different editions?
Yeah, no, we've both got that.
I got the that one, but again, I managed to, because the limited edition, Amazon didn't seem to ever get it in stock, and Book Depository did have it, and they wanted like about £45 or something for it, but I managed to get mine again from eBay for 29, so I didn't think that was too bad for the limited edition one. And she
Yeah,
had
that was really good, Sandra.
used it. It just looked like she just looked through the cards literally, and that was it.
Yeah.
But
No, that was amazing. I can't remember how much we paid for this, but I've got a feeling that you got it for a wee bit cheaper than what we did, and we just got it from Amazon, so we did. So that was
yeah,
brilliant. That was a great wee find.
yeah, you know, you never know really what condition they're going to be in, because the sellers can say fantastic condition and it might not be, but that one actually is. So yeah, I was really pleased with that,
Good.
because it's so creepy.
Yeah.
Have either of you had a bad experience with eBay
Yeah, it happens
or Etsy?
occasionally.
Yeah.
It happens occasionally, Robin. Not. I think I've only ever had it happen twice, so that's not, you know, too bad. And you know, it does happen sometimes. People don't describe things in the proper way, or they just fail to mention something that they should and stuff.
Did you return it or get a credit, or just bit the bullet and kept it?
No, I
Just
just
kept
kept
it.
it.
Yeah.
I kept it. You know.
I had one a couple weeks ago. Oh, I could actually show you. It was around Christmas. This guy on Etsy had some deck cases, and he had this one, and I really liked it. Well, you can't see very well probably, but it's got like snowflakes on it.
Oh, that's
And I
nice.
thought, oh, this is really pretty.
It is.
Except the image online, it looked like white snowflakes. And when I got it in person, they're like metallic.
They're silver.
And I don't like that kind of cheesy, fake metallic look. So I said, you know, and Etsy almost instantly prompts you to leave a review. And I said, oh, it's very nice and very well designed, very well made. And it might well appeal to other people, but I didn't feel it was accurately represented, because the image showed the snowflakes as white on blue cloth as opposed to metallic silver. And I'm just not into the metallics on cloth. And so then he reached out to me actually and said, oh, you know, that really affects my ratings that you gave me that review. And it wasn't a bad review. It may well have appealed to others. It just wasn't what I thought I was seeing in the photograph. So he took the listing down, and he actually said, I want all my customers to be happy. You know, I have some other material, you know, I'll remake you one, you know. And so he did, and he didn't charge me. And I picked it. I said, oh, there's two fabrics I like, this one, and there's one inside, you can't see, it's like gray and white snowflakes. And so he did it, and it's basically like the best of both worlds. I got both materials. I got it for free, and it's even reversible. And so I wrote back and I gave him like a glowing review for customer service.
Definitely,
But
because not everyone would do that. But actually, the first one that's got the silver on it, the blue colour's very nice, though, Robin.
mhm,
The
yeah.
blue. Mm.
Well, they're actually the same dark blue. It's just it doesn't appear.
It
There's
probably
more snowflakes on the
because of the
other ones.
snowflakes. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, they're
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it has a real polyester look to me with those If they had been embroidered, it'd be one thing, but it's just like silver ink on cloth, which kind of puts me off. But that's just me. It's just a matter of personal taste and preference. And oh, and I don't know if you guys saw, I had done a walkthrough of the Paris de Bono black and white variation on the RWS, which after I'd done my walkthrough, someone said, "Oh, that artwork looks like it's from the hoi polloi deck." And I had a look at somebody's hoi polloi walkthrough, and it was. So he had just stripped out the color on the hoi polloi and made it a black and white deck, which I liked. But I said, oh, it'd be really nice if I could find a black and white version of Pixie's deck. And he said, I've done one. He goes, I haven't made it available on MPC. I've only done it privately for myself. But if you want it, I'll make one for you. So, you know, we settled on a price and I had him make one and I absolutely love it. So I mean, a lot of people might complain because there are so many variations of this deck and so many colors. But I really wanted one with just the line work because there's sort of a controversy when Pixie did the very first one. When she was commissioned, she did black and white line work. And then it's a little uncertain as to whether she actually colored them in or someone at the publishing company or somebody else did the coloring. I don't know. So I wanted something as close as possible to her original line work. And I actually really love it. And nice back. It's got the roses and lilies back, which I never cared for, but this is like gray and cream, and it looks nicer to me than any of the others I've seen. But
Yeah.
I mean, I said, you know, do you want me to mention you when I do the walkthrough? And he said I could, but he didn't want to sell anymore. So it's kind of a one-off. And I've already had people saying, oh, I want one, I want one. And I said, well, do you want to do that? And he goes, no, I don't want to do them willy-nilly. He says, if there's enough response, I might do a batch. But I don't really want to be his, you know, business partner in, you know, getting up orders for this deck. But anyway, but I just thought I'd show that to you. It's a scarce item. I think there was a German black and white one done back in the early 80s, but I think even I think has a spot of color somewhere in the labels or something. But and it's really expensive, out of print on eBay.
Yeah.
Oh, Simon says he has the Mary Kay Greer black and white version. I never even heard of that one.
I didn't know there was a Mary Kay Greer black and white.
No.
Cool. I have the normal one.
I wanted to ask you guys about that Murder of Crows thing, though. I don't know if I already asked Chris about this. Do you guys think, could you even use that deck for, say, a reading, like a kind of an average or lighthearted reading? I mean, if you had a client come to you and say, I want to know about I have a question about my upcoming wedding or my child in the classroom or something, would you even do a reading with that deck for them? I mean, because it's very dark and creepy. Could you make something positive out of a reading from a deck as dark as that?
I don't actually do like readings like for clients and that type of thing, but I think I would probably have certain decks that I would use with clients that would be almost like client friendly, or I might have, you know, maybe a selection and ask them if they'd like to choose one, something like that. But I don't think if it was me that I would use Murder of Crows just for a general client reading. It'd be more a me type of deck just for my use.
And I think you mentioned too that you might use it for shadow work.
Shadow work, yes.
I'm
Yes.
still kind of unclear about the whole idea of shadow work, because for me, I kind of, maybe I don't quite understand shadow work, but I kind of treat regular decks with uprights and reversals, since I don't do reversals, as kind of like the, the regular and the shadow of that kind of sort of thing. So I read dark elements or shadow elements into some of my cards, and vice versa. Like I can get the 10 of swords and find something positive about that card in a reading, even though it is a dark image. Well,
I think it's different. If I'm understanding it correctly, it's... Oh, sorry, Sandra, on you go.
No, I was going to say shadow work is different to that. It's like working on yourself. Shadows, say within yourself, things that you find difficult to maybe bring to the surface, and the cards can maybe help you with that. The same as like journaling can. That's the type of thing. It's not kind of in the same way. I don't know what you think, Chris. It's
pretty much exactly what I was going to say. It's the different meanings of what we mean when we say the word shadow. So when you talk about the shadow aspects of a card, you're thinking about, the spectrum of positive and negative in that card, and the shadow is obviously the kind of more negative aspects of the card. When someone says shadow work, for me, they're working on their own shadow self, the shadow aspects of themselves, so the negative aspects of them own selves. So shadow work for me is, having an honest conversation with a deck about, in what way am I like a deck, or do you know what I mean? Like, what are my kind of weaknesses? What are my like kind of what do I need to work on? Do you know what I mean? It's essentially that type of conversation.
yeah.
So I think that's, and I think maybe darker decks, people might find them to be a bit more hard hitting, a bit more kind of cutting straight to the heart of the matter, and that's maybe why they're a bit, for some people at least, better for working on the shadow self, rather than like a kind of, unicorns with rainbows flying out the buttholes type deck.
Yeah, like Crystal Unicorn.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, you were present at our little study gathering yesterday, and I don't know if you remember my last card, my ultimate card in my spread yesterday was the Queen of Cups, which my reading of the Queen of Cups for me was that I need to learn how to be more thoughtful and compassionate and understanding of others. So would that be a shadow reading for that card, possibly?
So I think that is just, so we're looking at different kind of messages that the cards can give you. So if we think about the Queen of Cups is all about the emotions. Do you know what I mean? So when you think about things like being compassionate towards other people, being able to connect to other people, that is a lesson that the Queen of Cups as a person will teach you. When you think about the shadow aspects of the Queen of Cups, I think, really kind of overly emotional, maybe prone to mood swings, that type of thing. Do you know what I mean? So I'm sorry, Robin, I've kind of, I've lost. What was the question again? What did you ask me?
I guess when I see the Queen of Cups, I think of it as someone else, not me, being benevolent, being a ruler, being a thoughtful, kind ruler. And I read that card as being me and needing to emulate the Queen of Cups in terms of how I behave, that maybe I'm not as compassionate or understanding or thoughtful enough towards others as I should aspire to be. So for me, that was kind of like, I don't know if that's considered a shadow interpretation.
I would say that's shadow work on yourself, rather than the shadow aspects of the card. Yeah. because
Okay.
you're looking at yourself and you're thinking, how can I be a better Robin, or how can I be a better Chris or a better Sandra? Do you know what I mean? It's when you ask yourself questions like that, how can I be my best self? What actions can I take to improve myself, or be happier or more fulfilled, or that's shadow work at its best, I think. So yeah, I would say that was like shadow work.
And then one of the other cards I had was the baby on the horse in the sun, and I said, oh, this is usually, everybody looks at this as a happy card, and I said, oh, but this is me me as the baby on the horse in the sun, and I'm not enjoying myself. I'm not in the sunlight. I'm not in the limelight. I need to learn how to enjoy that, enjoy being in the sun, enjoy partaking of the light. So I don't know. I mean, I usually can read cards a number of different ways, and I tend to not always read them just at face value, but lots of times as lessons to learn. I always think of the tarot deck as a kind of a life's lessons book or something, or for me, it's mostly a lesson in balance, because a lot of times I see duality in cards. It's like it's either this or it's this. And even if you don't see the duality in the card, where people use reversals, there's kind of like a duality there, like a positive aspect of the card and a negative aspect, or something along those lines. Now I'm just rambling, but
No, I don't think you are. So I think that we're all trying to achieve that balance. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like temperance is temperance talks about the balance is different for everyone. So what might feel like a balanced lifestyle, or a balanced way to be for like you, Robin, would be different for what's balanced for Sandra. Do you know what I mean? So we're all trying to achieve our own version of balance. And a tarot deck is like basically it's supposed to be the entire human experience captured into these 78 images. So when it's firing out these images at you, it's supposed to kind of make you think about these different experiences and the different lessons that it can teach you about how to kind of, claw yourself towards that balance. So yeah,
I,
no, I agree with what you said.
I think our community is so wide and diverse too, that a lot of us have very different ways of using tarot. Like, I know a lot of people on there that use it predictively. It's like as if, like, oh, will I have my baby in May? I don't like those kind of questions. For me, I use it as more of in a psychological self-help thing. Like, how can I help light my own way? Which is the better path for me to take? Which approach will work better for me? I'm not looking for, oh, am I going to win the lottery this week? That doesn't, because I have free will and I have my own decisions to make. But I just kind of look at it as a guide when I feel a little confused or lost, or trying to struggle through some personal situation I'm having. I think it's sort of like, therapist in a box, really.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I would ever want to um, condescend the way that another person uses tarot. Do you know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, someone else can use tarot in whatever way they want and ask whatever
Yeah.
questions they want. I think, you know, the point is it's supposed to empower you. Do you know what I mean? It's not supposed to take the power out of your hands. And I think that's what you were saying there, Robin. Do you know what I mean? It's supposed to act as a guide. It's not supposed to, like, you know, take the power away from you, because I think when you use it like that, you might run the risk of advocating your power to all the cards say it. The cards say that I have to like lie in my bed all day tomorrow and be sad. Therefore, that's what happens. Do you know what I mean? I think when it's taking the power out of your hands like that, then that's maybe a more kind of negative aspect of it. But like certainly, it's like as far as within reasonable limits, I wouldn't ever kind of say oh, you shouldn't use it like that, or
Yeah, I didn't really. I may have misspoken. I didn't
no,
mean to
you
be
didn't. I know what
critical
you
of.
meant. I knew you were saying that you don't like to use it in that way, or at least that's the way I interpreted what you said. But yeah, I just thought I'd put that out there.
And some people really believe that they're psychic, or they have this connection, or that there's a much, and sometimes the synchronicities are such that it gives me pause, but it's not my main purpose for why I use it or why I read with it. That's all.
Yeah,
So
some people that have psychic abilities, I mean, I've been told this numerous times myself. I think then sometimes you know the meanings of the cards, and you'll get cards in front of you, for me anyway, and things just come into my mind like intuitively, and I'll just say it like that rather than, oh well, yeah, but in the book it says this, or this means this, but actually what I'm getting is this, so then I'll just say that.
Yeah.
That's how I very often read them. So it might not
and
be the same as everyone else does.
And I've heard people say, "Oh, I can't read cards for myself," or "You can't read cards for yourself. You don't have any objectivity. It's too subjective." I think I like to think that I'm analytical enough or open enough to step outside of myself and look at the cards like, if this wasn't me, what would they say? And then how does that apply to me? And be honest enough with myself that I can see it there. Although I still find it helpful to share it with other people, like when we do tarot play date, or when we do readings like Chris and I do, and sort of like riff off each other's cards to see how other people interpret it. Because even though I feel like I'm honest and open with myself at how I read the cards, I might have overlooked some symbol or some element in the way someone else sees it that I hadn't thought of. And it always helps to kind of broaden your perspective. I always think the cards give me perspective, but that gives me even more perspective when you get somebody else's point of view too.
Yeah, see, I'm terrible in that. Why I'm not so keen to do live readings is because always in the back of my mind, and it probably goes back to things that have happened to me within my life and different jobs and things. I just look at them and think, I can't read this as I'm seeing it. I think this is it. But if I say that, that's wrong. I always just think I'm wrong compared to other people. And I know you shouldn't think like that, but that is what I tend to do, which I know is silly, and I have to get out of that. But
I tend often to go into automatic pilot. I so kind of almost don't think about the person. I just look at what the cards are telling me, like a comic strip and a little story,
yeah,
direction wise or action wise, what they're doing. But then I also like to have a little dialogue with the person. I mean, I don't read. I haven't read for other people other than one or two friends, except for what we do online. But I like to have a sort of a dialogue with them, like, well, is there any possibility of this in your situation? Or
yeah.
have you ever considered this? Is it, have you thought in that direction? Oh, while we're at it, I just saw Zane popped in. I want to say hi. I thought, oh, because of the way we started, I didn't get to say hi to everybody. So I'm going to scroll back real fast and say, hello, Deanne, Jackie, Justin, Simon, Jen Hen, Jilly. Who's Tiny Trinkets and Tarot? Does anybody know them by their first name? I don't know, but hello. Wood Thrush, Cottage Diane. And I think as I'm scrolling, that there's a lot of repeats, a lot of dialogue back and forth. Oh,
Gerald,
Gerald. Hi,
Gerald.
Gerald.
Mhm.
Kristen Louise.
Yeah.
Did I say Jackie? I think I did. Justin. I
Jackie
think,
deserves two of those.
yeah. I think I might be caught up just as I saw Zane pop in. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, okay, I'm at the bottom. Just wanted to say hi to everybody and welcome you all.
Yeah.
Where was I? Where were we? Oh, talking about readings and intuition and inspiration. And oh, that's something I was going to do today. I've been see how you guys feel about this. Let's give this a shot.
I've got a feeling I know what's going to happen here. Are you going to break out your Rorschach things, Robin, or is this something different?
Yeah, I am. How did you know? You must be psychic.
I know I must be.
Is yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was curious. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you don't want to do this, but there's
No,
Jen.
go for it.
Yeah, Jen's Balanced Tarot and Lisa Amber. There's some other people coming in. Yeah, I'm loving these cards, and these I actually can read reversals because there's no labels and the backs are reversible. And I don't read any other deck reversible, but the images are open to interpretation because there's no label, so there's no top or bottom. In fact, they could be read on their sides too, but I don't read landscape direction. But anyway, I just kind of like to look at these and help develop my own intuition. So should we pose a question for this just to see what it, or should we just look at a card and see what we think?
Well, look at a card and see what we think first.
Yeah.
Let's just chat about it.
Oh, okay. This looks like a good one. Now I'm looking at this card, and if I were to read this for someone, I see two people sitting at a table. So I see a friendly little conversation at a table. So I would say it might be time to meet up with a friend. And Tiny Trinket says, I see a pelvis.
Yes.
I see here it might be a time to meet up with someone and exchange thoughts or ideas with them. I also see a butterfly or a moth down here under the table. So, and there's also elements flying or floating above the heads of these people. So that may be an exchange of thoughts or ideas between the two sitting at this table, and perhaps possibly an unwanted visitor that comes along in the form of this moth down here. I also noticed that the moth is in positive, what's almost in negative just above it in the white area there. So there's almost like a piece missing from the picture. So something from the conversation may be taking flight, flying away, out of reach. So I mean, I'm already picking up a lot of stuff just from these blobs. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if either of you want to take a stab at this card or see any.
I see something really rude. So Sandra, you can maybe go first, because once I say it, you will not be able to unsee it.
I'm dying to know. Either one of you, I'm fine.
Well, right, I don't see anything rude.
Right, you go first then.
So, mine, it was almost like Robin's, but the two figures that kind of look like people to Robin, they look like little animal guys to me.
Yeah, like hedgehogs or something.
Little hedgehogs or something.
Yeah.
Out of Wind in the Willows.
Yeah.
As friends having like this little chat together. That's what they look like to me.
Yeah. Chris. All right, dirty mind, Chris. Yeah. What do you got?
So I've got the hedgehogs, right? The hedgehogs are there. You know, it's as if they're standing up. You can see the wee snouts. They're looking at each other. They look as though they're having a chat. It looks as though they're high-fiving. So there's this kind of more black and right in the middle,
Uh-huh.
that's them high-fiving. But then when you look down towards like the hedgehog's kind of like groin type area, there's this protrusion on each side that
Okay.
also
Okay.
looks like. So that's what I'm seeing. I see
Oh.
two male hedgehogs that look very, very proud.
Right.
Oh,
Um,
they're
and
kind of excited to see each other, you mean?
yeah, and now I can't unsee it.
You
I
see,
can, and I see this poor moth who's like trying to get out of the way. So yeah, that's what I see. I did
so
tell you it was rude.
so Chris sees phallic images.
Hmm.
Yes. Yeah,
No,
I do.
I didn't see the ones under the table. I was thinking of the one
Oh.
on the table, but that's more like a candle between the two
So
figures.
I was seeing those as legs.
Uh-huh. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I just think it's interesting. And the longer I meditate on this, the more I see. I also see the two blobs over their heads almost like eyes. And then the negative space under the table is like a big smiling mouth. So that may be
Mm.
some sort of supportive, angelic, or guide like message from above, some kind of reassuring, comforting uh, message that gets delivered between the two during their conversation. So I mean, it's a blob, right? It's a Rorschach print, but it's amazing to me. I think I've mentioned before. There's this phenomena in psychology called pareidolia, which I know you've all experienced. Like if you look at, you see pictures in clouds or in, puddles or wood grain and knots and trees and things, you see faces and stuff. It's the mind, the human mind tends to force reason on something where there isn't any, to make an image or make something make sense where there is no sense there. And I think it's kind of a marvelous aspect that we have, that we were able to do that. So
I'm totally
yeah.
that. I've always done it from when I was young. Faces in curtains,
Mhm.
wallpaper, clouds, all sorts of things, rocks.
Yeah. I've
Uh,
just seen in the chat that
yeah.
Kristen Louise said, was it Kristen that said it? She said it's their legs, you perv.
Is there legs you
Kristen, I've lost it now. Yeah, it's their legs, you perv. This, however, I'm going to out you here, Kristen, because this is coming. Kristen, what does this card make you think of? The Three of Cups and a Marseille deck. Kristen says this is very phallic to her. So she did. So, yeah, right back at you, Kristen.
So there
Perv
you go.
unite.
Show it
Sorry, you want.
again.
So it's the Three of Cups, and Kristen sees this as a very kind of a very phallic,
I
the
I
Oh,
I
I see.
see fallopian tubes up near the
the,
top there.
That's what I thought you were going to say, actually, like a woman's inner bits.
Yeah.
her lady bits.
Yeah.
Um, Kristen says it's about growth. What can I say? Oh dear.
Zane says, yes, when I was young, cloud watching was a fave pastime of mine, and I've always seen faces and figures in random places, trees, wall paint, sidewalks, etc.
Yeah, definitely.
I do too. I'll be, looking around my apartment. I'll look at the curtains or a folded drapery somewhere, and I'll see faces and things. I often wonder if those are like subliminal messages from the beyond, or if you go into the forest, people say, oh, that's fairies. You're seeing fairies in the trees.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, are you planning? I know you're a ghost aficionado, Sandra. Are you and your brother planning to take another dark trip
We
into the woods?
we were, and we were planning to, do one or two other places, but because we're in lockdown here at the moment, you can't really go outside of your county, or even less than that even. So you can only like do sort of local trips to grocery stores and things. So if I was to get in the car with my brother and we drove to those woods, we could be in trouble for doing that. So that's why we haven't, unfortunately. because my brother has actually been there on his own since, and he's found a different walk around. So yeah, I want to do it and film, and we were planning to try and do it as it gets darker too.
I don't know why you do that. It drives me crazy. And I see it on TV too. It's like people go looking for Bigfoot and they're not armed or anything with anything but a camera. I'm thinking, we got to find Bigfoot. I'm thinking, what are you going to do if you actually do find Bigfoot? They'll probably tear your arm off. You know, it's like, why go looking for trouble? You know, and then they're always shocked if they find some evidence or they get scared. It's like you guys going in the woods. It's like, we're looking for ghosts. Oh my God, it's too creepy here. I think I saw a ghost. Let's get out. Well, what did you go there for? What did you expect?
Well, I did see on one of them. Unfortunately, I didn't get it on film, but there was like a black robed figure walking in the trees ahead of me, like slowly or sideways on, and you could actually see the leg movement and the movement of like the robe he was wearing. I'm saying he because it reminded me of like a monk type figure, and you could see through parts of it as the figure moved. So
and yet you want to go back again.
Yeah, because it's interesting. You think, I saw that. What if I see that again? Or did I really see that? Let's try again. But you're always going to get that shock when you do see something. There's always going to be that initial, oh my God, because it just suddenly something is there. And initially you kind of want to run, but then you think, no, because I'm here to kind of see what's going on. Like, you know, my brother and I with the Hellfire Caves, we've been there so many times and got so many orbs, and my brother caught an actual full figure on camera.
No, do you just have... Sorry.
That's okay.
Do you just have the one sibling?
No, I have two. I have another brother as well. He's because the one I go to the woods with, he's 9 years younger than me.
What's his name?
Anthony.
And so you and Anthony are particularly close?
Yeah, and my other brother David, he lives in Devon, so he lives quite away from me. And of course, now with all the lockdown, I've not seen him for over a year. We've spoke on the phone and everything, but him and his wife I haven't seen for over a year now, which is...
But it seems like Anthony has a connection with you, with the a fascination for the supernatural. And did I hear recently in one of your walkthroughs or something that you were trying to turn him onto tarot or get him into tarot or something?
He asked me, actually. He'd had oracle decks for a while, and he's really into like the Norse mythology, so into Vikings and that type of thing. And we found out that when he did the ancestry thing, where you can where it traces your bloodline back, it actually goes back to the sort of Viking times and Scandinavian area.
Well, that would be true for you as well, wouldn't it?
Yes, I haven't actually done it, but I would imagine so, yes. So there's that, but he said to me, what's the difference between tarot and oracle? So I was trying to explain to him. I said, you know, I always, you know, tarot, I think works, you get more in-depth, I suppose, information with tarot than you would with just using oracle. So for his 40th birthday, which was on the 13th of January, I got him the Borderless Centennial, and it's his first time with tarot, so he's been asking me lots of questions, but he's been looking things up and he's been getting on okay with it. He's been doing spreads and then sending me and saying, what do you think about this? I mean, the other day, I don't know if I should say really, because he sent me a 3-card spread he'd got, and he'd got the Devil, Temperance, and the Tower, and he said, I'm assuming this means shit's gonna go down.
You tell him it means he needs to shuffle his deck better.
I think that's fantastic, Sandra.
Yeah.
That you guys are sharing this and having that interaction. Do you like Zoom or FaceTime each other for spreads and things, or do you
Um,
actually get to physically be with him or see him, or is there
um,
distancing?
Not physically at the moment. And if we did, it would have to be like socially distanced.
Hmm.
Because it's two households coming together.
Hmm.
So at the moment, not really, but we do talk like virtually every day on the phone. He'll even call me because his job that he does, he can, while he's doing his actual job, he can talk to me on the phone. So he'll be asking me about tarot then, or he's very into, and I know not everyone is into this, and it's a big thing, but he's not into all of the conspiracy theories, but he's into some of what's going on with the planet type of thing. And I think this is as well what he's trying to use the tarot for, to see if it will tell him anything of what's going on with the planet and these planetary alignments and things. But
Is there a history going back in terms of your and his fascination with ghosts and things?
well, my dad, my dad could have been a medium basically, but he never actually took that up. But he had so many things happen, so many things, even in this house where I am now. There are different spirits even here, but he had lots of things happen to him, including the whole story that I've told before about
the black shark.
the black shark and
Right.
all of that. And he had lots of things like that happen, and it's almost like it's passed down the bloodline. But then his gran, so would be like my great gran, she was, I mean, people probably say a witch, but they might have said cunning woman or something then. And she had a little cottage not right in the woods, but there was a field opposite and some woodland around. And because of the shape of it, it was called the Threepenny Bit Cottage, because that's like an old coin years ago. And they had an actual well for water, no proper running water. And she knew so much about herbs and all of that type of thing. And when my dad's stepdad had cancer, they didn't realise at the time that he had, and he was actually dying. And my gran said to my dad, right, it wasn't go and get the doctor, she said go and get your gran. You know, so there is all that as well. And my brother's very into nature, very into being in the woods, being outside, connecting with nature, even to the point of walking barefoot and things in the woods and stuff like that.
Well, you grew up with that. Your dad was a ranger. Yeah.
We grew up in the middle of a forest because my dad worked there and we had a house there, and we grew up with that.
Did you say you're the middle child?
I'm the eldest.
Oh, the eldest. Oh.
Yeah. My brothers are younger.
And Anthony's the
Sandra,
youngest.
I'm the oldest.
Sorry, Chris?
So I was just saying I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest child.
Oh, you're the eldest. Yeah, so I've got David 2 years younger than me, and Anthony is 9 years younger.
Oh, all three of us are eldest. I only have one younger sister, but she has no interest in this stuff whatsoever.
Now, my other brother, David, he laughs at it all. He doesn't have any interest in it at all. But me and Anthony are very much like connected with this and with other things as well. You know, like I say, he rings me virtually every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which brother is it that you've got your nieces by, Sandra? Is that David or Anthony?
Anthony.
All right, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got 2 nieces.
That's nice.
And you said you've had psychic experiences. Has Anthony as well?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes. Yeah. He's had quite a lot as well. So yeah, but both of us have. So
What do you have any particular thoughts on orbs? What orbs are?
I think orbs are like the initial or the start of like a full kind of manifestation, if you like, of a full-bodied figure. I think we see them as orbs first off, and then they may develop into like a full-bodied apparition, if you like. But I think it all depends on the energy as well, because they need quite a lot of energy for them to show themselves to you, which is why when you watch even some of these ghost shows and things, you hear of camera batteries being drained and torch batteries being drained that were brand new, because that they need that energy to be able to do things or to show themselves to you. But I can see orbs with my naked eye. A lot of people only get to see it through a camera lens very often, but I've been able to do that. And Amber over at Lavender Moon channel, she also can see them with her naked eye. That's why she was quite excited when she found out that I could do the same thing.
I kind of feel the other way around, like sort of the ghost comes first and then the orb. Like when the human body, the flesh, has a sort of a matrix, an energy matrix that the soul clings to. And when, now we're getting into belief systems, but okay, this is my personal belief system, that when people die, the energy leaves the body but clings to that matrix form, which is why we see full apparition ghosts. And then once they've let go of that matrix, then they become the crux of the core of that, which is the orb, the light ball of energy. And they return home. They return out there to this, I sort of call it the cosmic school of goldfish. Like you look up at through a telescope and down through a microscope, and they're virtually the same, lots of energy flowing. And you look up at the stars, and it's like this vast school of glowing fish kind of moving, energy moving and swirling. And for me, that's my idea of heaven and the afterlife. When I go, I'll return back into that flow of just infinite energy flowing out there, which is, for me, is a very beautiful thing. A lot of people think, oh, that's so boring. But I also believe that there's no fear or hatred there. It's like there's like a sort of a hive mind. We all connect into this universal knowledge and energy in that stream. And so when you have, trillions of minds melding, how can that be boring? That communication, the interaction, that all that information and in the energy, that just must be amazing to me, I think. And that support of being part of something like that, part of the flow. But now I'm rambling again.
Everybody has their own beliefs and what they believe in, and they're entitled to that. I mean, me as being pagan, I just believe that we kind of all come from the goddess as a whole, and we go back to that. It's a very kind of earthy, So if you think of the goddess, if you think of Gaia, that type of way of looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
I was trying to read in the chat, but the conversations have nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Oh.
And I don't know where they're coming from or where they're leading.
Rambling.
Justin goes, I worked in printing years ago and was making prints with this guy who had all these photos of a famous Irish actor in Ireland. They could have been fakes or could not have been fakes. They were recognizable faces. Okay.
Oh, because he's probably still talking about the pareidolia thing, probably. Maybe.
Oh.
If he's talking about faces in things.
Well, somebody else said, that's spooky, Justin. I went to the reformatory where the Shawshank Redemption was filmed,
Oh my
supposed to be
goodness.
haunted by but I unfortunately didn't see anything. That's Kristen. Be grateful you didn't see anything, Kristen, if it was spooky.
Chris, what do you think about like ghosts and spirits? Do you have any kind of thoughts
I
about
don't know. I don't know, and I'm too much of a shite bag to explore it, Sandra.
it?
I'm terrible. I'm terrible for. I really am. It's the God's honest truth. Yeah, I'm totally such a jumpy person. Like
All
Sandy
right.
probably
Oh,
gives me about 10 frights a day,
Oh,
just through normal. Well, he's a bit of a klutz. Do you know what I mean? If he's in the
yeah.
kitchen, no doubt there's going to be a clatter and a bang and stuff. But yeah, yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm just a very, very jumpy person, and I don't react well to like if somebody gives me a fright, I go in an absolute cream puff. So I do. I go in a total huff, and I don't want to talk to them for like half an hour. So
Yeah.
yeah,
If
it's
you were
just
walking in the woods like me and my brother were, and you saw something suddenly in front of you, it wouldn't be good.
I
yeah,
think
you
I share that with you, Chris. Do you have the same feeling when watching horror movies or no?
right. So horror movies, I love them after the first time. So I do.
Mm.
The first time, I'm kind of like, and I kind of like do this with my eyes so that I can just see a tiny bit of it. And then when you hear the music going like ta-down, like then you know yeah, it's safe to open your eyes, you know. Um, but I love horror movies for the story. See movies like Insidious and Insidious 2, like
Yeah,
outstanding, out of this world, amazing
yeah,
horror movies, but
yeah.
scary as fuck.
Yeah,
And yeah, I don't enjoy the frights that they give you.
I'm
I think
terrible
one of
that
the
way
ones,
too. Oh, go ahead.
it's all right. One of the ones I remember that really like made me jump, and even does even now if I rewatch it, is The Woman in Black. There's
Yeah,
lots of other bits in that.
yep, yeah. Or Harry Potter 8, as my friend calls it.
I, d-
Oh
I, d-
yes.
I don't have any problem with scary stuff if it's in an atmospheric or psychological way. It's that like jumping out of nowhere and the volume shrieking that
Yeah,
gets me. And I'm terrible, like, even back in the 80s when video VHS tapes were popular. If I was watching a horror movie or I was intrigued to watch one, I would fast forward through the whole thing because when you fast forward, you see what's coming and the sound is off. I thought, okay, I can see now here where something's going to jump out. And that's like, that made it easier then for me to be able to watch it, but
yeah,
I physically get ill watching horror movie. I get a
Oh God.
temperature. My blood pressure rises. I can feel my forehead getting hot. I get physically stressed out by it. It affects me physically. I don't know if that means I'm empathic or just a gullible fool or what it means,
No.
but yeah, I have trouble with horror,
I
scary
had to
movies.
laugh just looking at the comments. Simon's put shite bag, can't breathe after his comment.
true. Um,
Oh
Sandra,
God.
I've seen The Woman in Black in the theater.
Yeah.
I feel feeling I might have
I
told you
think
that
you
before.
told me, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I really wanted to see it. Was it really creepy in the theatre though as well?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like it was one of those ones where I spent the whole time being like, Sandy, why did you buy us these tickets? Why did you bring me to this? And then when we were walking out, I was like, that was amazing.
I'm
Another
I'm
film.
I'm shocked. Hold, let me
Yeah.
interrupt a second. I'm shocked to see. I know Simon loves scary movies, and he has a comment here. I was a grown-ass adult when I walked out the cinema because I was too scared to see The Strangers through. Only film to do that to me.
That's funny because I was just about to mention The Strangers. That
Uh,
was another film that really made me jump. And actually, the first time I saw it was when I went to visit Simon, and we were both sat in his living room watching it,
mm.
and kind of because you could just knew that a bit was going to come up that was going to make you jump. Oh God.
Oh my gosh. Zane says, Simon, my one and only walkout was The Sixth Sense. As a teen, that movie made me physically ill because it creeped me out so badly. Now, that one didn't do it for me for some
No.
reason.
There were definitely some jumpy bits in it, but
Mm.
The Sixth Sense is just amazing, and it's essentially like two movies in one. Do you know what I mean? Because you watch it the first time through, and then you see what I won't spoiler it just in case there happens to be someone who's not seen it, and
Yeah.
then you see what the twist is, and then you watch it all the way through again, and you're like, oh
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
it's amazing.
Yes, I did that. Exactly that.
The guy that made that movie was from the county where I grew up, out in Pennsylvania.
Oh, right.
And it was M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan.
And yeah, he also made
Just you
Signs.
never
I
mind
love
these Shamalama Ding
Signs.
Dong, Robin.
What?
Just you never mind these Shamalama Ding Dong. Your mind's still on that fireman's pole.
He made Signs, and Signs has actually a scene in it where they're having pizza in town. It's the little town where I went to college, Newtown, Pennsylvania. And what was the name of that one where it's like these they live in, it's this little like kind of Amish community that lives
Village.
in the wood, huh?
Village.
The Village, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
he's got some interesting movies. Yeah,
I like Del Toro's movies as well, his films as well.
The Happening. Did you see The Happening?
Yeah.
That's a weird concept.
It's weird.
Kind of like The Birds, but it's like a plant's version of The Birds, kind of.
Yeah.
He's good for a twist. M. Night Shyamalan. His films have always got a really good twist in them, haven't they?
Yeah, they do. Simon was just saying in the chat that he guessed The Sixth Sense.
So pissed.
And spoiled it for his ex-wife, and she was so pissed off at him.
Quite
Yeah,
rightly so. So would that be if somebody told me that?
Oh no.
My ex brother-in-law worked a crane for one of his films. It's the only one I think I haven't seen. I think it's called Lady in the Lake or Lady in the Pool or something like that. And he was a crane operator. He's a kind of a nasty asshole. I'm glad my sister divorced him. I don't know why I brought that up. It's like my connection with film production. Children of the Corn. Yeah, that was scary.
Children of the Corn.
Lady in the Water, Zane says. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he has an Apple TV series called The Servant. I don't have that channel. I don't know if that's like probably a pay subscription one. There's so many of those now. Well, we've been going on for a little while here. I don't know if we want to go, if it's time to go into readings, or if you want to do that or not, Chris, or what, or if there's anything you guys want to chat about before we change direction. I don't want to spend the rest of the evening talking about scary movies. I don't know if I can gear it back towards cards, but I don't really have anything else on my mind to talk about regarding cards, unless either of you have something related
I'm
to.
interested in actually see on the subject of like spooky things and scary movies and all that. Does anyone have any particular tarot decks that just give them the absolute creeps? Like whenever they use them, it just gives them that kind of chill at the back of their spine, that creepy feeling. I'm interested now. Midnight Meditations. I'm from Glasgow in Scotland.
I have one, I guess. Oh, I had a couple actually. Yeah, I have one. The the is it called the Angelarium or something? I don't know. It's an oracle deck. It's like these futuristic alien creepy giant looking creatures, and they're beautifully rendered in art, but the deck is so damn creepy I can't use it at all. I also have an HP Lovecraft deck called the Dark Grimoire, which is pretty creepy, and I think I did an early walkthrough of that, and everybody in the chat said, oh no, it's awful, it's too creepy, it's like I could never use it. But I think, Sandra, you have the Edgar Allan Poe, but I don't think that looks as dark as the Murder of Crows deck to me.
No. There are some creepy images to it, and particularly if you know the stories behind a lot of them, like I do, because I just love Edgar Allan Poe stories and things. But yeah, but it's probably not as creepy as Murder of Crows looks. I think as well because a lot of the figures in Murder of Crows have got that beak type mask, and that always. And I know it's meant to like mimic a crow, but it always gives me that plague doctor vibe.
I like that, and I like the images in that deck a lot, except for the sexy ones. I don't like the naked, sexy women, and the bulging breasts in that one, and it's like it's so dark and creepy that when they bring this voluptuous sex thing into it, it's like kind of reminds me of old Frank Frazetta illustrations or something from like those kind of graphic novels or something. I don't know. I don't like mixing sex with dark and creepy. It's
I don't think I've got any decks where I would pick it up and think, oh, this actually gives me the creeps. The only deck I ever did have, and don't have it anymore, it was several years ago now when I got rid of it, was one called the Necronomicon Tarot, and it was HP Lovecraft inspired, and the images were just too much. You couldn't do it. It was too much, and you could not do it. It just felt like whenever you got the cards out that it was going to be a negative reading.
I'm sorry I'm laughing. I just saw Jen say, oh my God, I stepped away for work things and come back to, I don't like naked, sexy women. What's happening?
I don't, Robin, I'm looking through this deck and I mean, the world is nude, but I mean, the world's normally nude. I don't know, I'm not getting the same vibe.
There aren't a lot of them, but I think there's at least 2, maybe 3. Maybe there's only 1 or 2. I don't know. But it's like, it just seemed unnecessary to me. It's like, it's not, I don't have any trouble with nudity, but when it's this kind of seductive, voluptuous pose that's very provocative, I just don't find, it's not your typical naked woman world pose. You know what naked woman world pose I love is the one in Zane's deck. She's just like very Zoftig. I don't know if that's an acceptable word. An Zoftig black woman, naked woman, beautiful world pose, like kind of very Mother Earth like.
I don't think she's naked, if I remember rightly.
She's not?
I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe I'm remembering it wrong then. I just I always think of the world figure as a nude figure, and the fact that she's a rather rotund woman, I thought, oh, that's fantastic. It feels more right for the world card to me, something like Mother Earth or something, more so even than an Empress card or something. Did you find it? I want to see.
Yeah, I've just got her. She's not naked. She's wearing like she's a dancer.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Oh.
No, it's all right. Don't apologise. It was just when you said it, I've like one of the particular things I remember is the skirt in this deck, in this image. So that was why I was like, I don't think she's naked, because I remembered her wearing the kind of tutu, the kind of ballerina skirt.
You're right. I misremembered her, but I love her whole persona, her carefreeness, and that It's just beautiful, that little pose on those
Yeah.
tiny
And like
little feet.
the look on her face, like the happiness on her.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
yeah.
Beautiful card.
Mm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
need to order that deck. I am going to order it.
Hmm.
Right.
Mm,
Maybe you were thinking of a different deck, Robin, with a similar
it could
card.
be. Yeah.
So you
All
guys
right.
should start readings, or
I don't
I mean, we
know.
don't
How
really
you
need
feel?
to. What time are we? We're coming up for 11 o'clock. Well, 11 o'clock my time,
Yeah.
Robin. So, I mean,
I
if you want
think
to just kind of.
I don't really need to. I did want to experiment with that Rorschach one just to see what you guys thought on it, which I thought was kind of fun.
yeah.
And why don't we, if you don't mind, Chris, why don't we just save it until next time?
Yeah, sure. We
And
can. Do you want me to pull a wee card for everybody, like just to
yeah,
kind of
okay.
card
That'd
pool
be
for the
fun.
collective?
Sure.
I'm going to use. I filmed a walkthrough of this today. Tarot of the Holy Spectrum.
Oh,
This is a really nice deck. There are some of the cards in it that throw me a bit, but I'm liking it. And what I noticed when I was laying them out to do like a sample spread, see the color, like the color progression. It's really really nice. Like you can really kind of read it, and then there's cards that stand out. Do you know what I mean? So you've got this progression of colors, but all of a sudden, wham, purple. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, right, well, you can read into that. You know, you can read that. So it's really kind of cleverly done, I think. So let's see a wee card for so it's Monday. So for the week for everyone, and we've got
oh no.
okay,
Okay.
got the devil.
Oh, shadow card. You're
Uh,
not enough.
you're not
So this is actually one of the cards that's changed between the first edition and the second edition. In the first edition, we have the same character, but we don't have all the words around about them. So you can see the words that are around about this devil card are like kind of things like, you know, I'll be forgotten, fear, you're not enough. It's all of this kind of stuff, the inner critic stuff, you know, it's all of this stuff that we tell ourselves to beat ourselves down, and it almost like kind of takes. I've just realised I'm really slumping in my chair. Sorry. We use it to, you know, take the power away from ourselves. At its very core, for me, the devil is about desire. Okay, it's about that kind of inner desire that we have that makes us do different things. Now, quite often we'll associate it with the kind of negative stuff that our desires lead us to do. You know, it's like we're led by our desires, and all kind of conscious analysis goes out the window. That kind of important kind of risk assessment process goes out the window, you know. So quite often it will lead us to do something that we really, really want to do. We know we shouldn't, but you know, when we're in this devil energy, it's hard to kind of turn off that, you know, that base desire, that carnal desire, and turn on that kind of that very kind of conscious process. But at the same time, if we can channel it properly, if we can use that energy properly, that desire, I mean, that's led people to do amazing things. You know, people that have achieved like all sorts of weird and wonderful things in the past. They've done that because they've had the pure like vision and desire to do that, and there's a wee bit of devil energy in that. So although, you know, we need to be careful that we're not kind of letting go of our responsibilities, that we're not letting go of control, you know, there is that kind of that powerful desire within us that if we channel it properly, we can use it to, you know, to achieve something great. So I suppose that's our task. That's can be an aim for us for the week. You know, how can we take that kind of desire and use it in a productive and, you know, healthy way?
That's a very different devil card than I've ever seen before. And
I really love
when I first saw all those phrases on there, it read to me as challenges. It's like when it says, "You're not enough. I can't." You know, what's it? I can't read all the other ones there, but all of those to me are like challenges, like you can't do this, you can't do that, you're such and such a way, it makes me want to rebel against that card and say, I am enough, I can do that. You can't tell me I can't do it.
Yeah.
So
It's an inner monologue, isn't it? That's the way I take it. This is all these phrases. It's like the inner monologue.
Definitely. Yeah. I really like that card for the devil. It's a really
nice.
good card. Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Nice. I need to watch your walkthrough then.
Yeah, I'll upload it at some point. I keep feeling as though I'm kicking the arse out of these premieres, but it's a nice opportunity for everybody to get together. So I'm kind of enjoying doing them.
Yeah.
I love them, but I've gotten to really hate the intro jingle. That
what?
that
intro?
Huh? No,
Intro?
on the premieres, the standard one that they give you, the countdown with the clicky noise and that little melody. Maybe I've just heard it too much, but it drives me up the wall now every time I hear it. And I've done it on several of my own. It's like I don't know. That jingle has kind of gotten to me in a bad way.
Just mute it until the jingle's gone.
Huh?
Just mute it until the jingle's gone.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah.
I'll do that next time. Oh, I'm getting all my technical tips from Chris on how to maneuver the web. Oh. All right. Well, I guess that's it for the night then. We'll let Sandra get to bed on time tonight. Thank you, Sandra, so much for agreeing to come on and
okay. So
be
thank
with
you
us.
for asking me. I hope I haven't rambled and put you off doing cards and stuff.
No, you've not at all, Sandra. You've made us want to do cards even more, if anything. So don't be silly. It's been lovely to actually be live with you, so it has.
I see everybody in the chat, tugging at Sandra to do her own lives, and I see she's come in with, when she gets a laptop, she will. So, wow, that's exciting.
That could be a little bit away, but yeah, because I know you can't do them without. I only have an iPad at the moment, so yeah.
Well, send me a wee message, Sandra, because I think that might be a bit of a myth. I think if you use StreamYard, I think you can use your device. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, because see when, you know how when I do my Thursday lives, I've normally got a table cam and this.
Yeah.
If I log in through my phone first, like for the table cam, it puts me onto the stream. Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
So I think it's maybe just if you're doing it directly through YouTube, you can only do it from a tablet. Like, people in the chat tell me if I'm wrong.
Gerald says you can do lives on a tablet. That's what he does. So however he does it. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
So I just have to get StreamYard then and do it through that.
Yeah, and it's the easiest. Like, StreamYard is so easy to navigate. Like, there's a couple of YouTube videos that can tell you everything you need to know. But yeah, don't let us put pressure on you or anything, but just so you know, it is an option for you whenever you want to do it.
StreamYard is so fantastic. I love StreamYard. I hated YouTube. I always got lost trying to figure my way into YouTube, and StreamYard is just so much easier. I really love it. I don't even use YouTube anymore. I will for the pre-recorded ones, but then you just upload them. But for lives, I only use StreamYard now.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into it then. Not promising, but I'll look into it.
All right. Maybe you and your brother would come on an early live or something.
Yeah,
together. That could be
if we
fun.
were able to be together at some point.
That's right.
Yeah,
except if you do StreamYard, and if he's got a laptop, you can both be on there. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right. I'll say goodbye to you both, and thank you, and thanks to everybody in the chat room. It looks like everybody had fun, which is good.
Good.
And see you all. Maybe I'll see you all in Mendy's chat tomorrow. She's doing a live in the afternoon, I think.
Excellent.
Or Quarren stream in the morning, maybe. Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Robin. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.